This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rajni Jain. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good evening, everyone. I am Lakshmipati and I'll be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Dr. Ambika H D, an entrepreneur from Germany, a subaerial specialist, and an algae ecologist. Dr. Ambika will be speaking on the topic, the role of algae in agriculture. I now request the speaker to begin.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, then I'll start.
We can hear you, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. So myself, Dr. Ambika H D. I'm specialization in subaerial algae and I'm an algal ecologist. So today I'm going to talk about role of algae in agriculture. So I would like to give a brief introduction about me. So I've done my PhD work on taxonomy, characterization, and classification of algae on 3 bark samples. So I've done microscopic work of subaerial algae for their complete morphological studies and ecological study of blue-green algae regarding micro and macroclimatic conditions. How does it affect on the growth of blue-green algae? And I've documented more than 104 species of subaerial algae. And according to the statistical analysis, I have reported the subaerial algae diversity, how phycological studies differ from these different bark samples from tropical to subtropical and terrestrial algae. So I have published till today 4 publications. It's all regarding diversity of subaerial algae. Okay, today in this presentation, I'm going to cover the following topics. So I would like to give a brief definition and classification of algae and the introduction and a brief history on seaweeds and what are the benefits of algae in agriculture and how these seaweeds manure or extracts effects on agricultural plants and what are the algae fertilization and biostimulants for the plants. How does these biostimulants and fertilizers are better than the chemical fertilizers, and how these growth promoting substances which influence on the crop plants, and what are the plant nutrients which includes which is needed for the crop of plants in the agriculture field. So come to the definition part. So these algae are the aquatic photosynthetic organisms, which is micro and macro algae, which covers a range of organisms from different phylogenetic group. Approximately more than 30,000 species are present in this, and which is categorized into multicellular macroalgae, which you can call it as a seaweeds, and unicellular microscopic algae, call it as microalgae. Algae are emerging to be one of the most promising long-term sustainable source of biomass and oils for fuel, food, and biofertilizers. So what makes them so attractive? How and where they grow? Algae grow quickly and can double their number every few hours, can be harvested daily, and have the potential to produce a volume of biomass many times greater than that of our productive crops. So algae are both autotrophic and heterotrophic. So they grow with sunlight and without sunlight. Algae consumes carbon dioxide just like a plant and release oxygen into the atmosphere. So we all know about the photosynthesis, how does happen in the plants. Likewise, it happens in the algae as well, by converting light energy to chemical energy, whereby carbon dioxide and the water are converted into organic molecules. So these chemical energy stored in the form of chemical compounds, which is particularly used in the biological activities named as bioactive compounds. So a brief classification, just an overview. These algae are microscopic and macroscopic algae. So let us know about microscopic algae. So which kingdom comes under Protista, which has 4 phylum: Cyanophyta, Phyrophyta, Chrysophyta, and Chlorophyta. Cyanophyta are called blue-green algae, for example, Nostoc and Anabina. You can see in the first 2 pictures, Nostoc and Anabina respectively. Phyrophyta is dinoflagellates. Chrysophyta diatoms are also called as golden brown algae, which is Pinnuaria species, and Chrysophyta. The followed pictures, 3rd and 4th pictures are followed by Pinnuaria and Chrysophyta respectively. And the 4th group is Chlorophyta, which is called microscopic green algae. And one of the most important Hematococcus species, which you can see the red pigmentation, which is present in the 5th picture, and the chlorophyll species. So come to the macroalgae, which is also called as I told, seaweed. Today I'm going to concentrate on this macroalgae because these are the main algae which is used as a biostimulants and biofertilizers. And nowadays, most of the research is going on these seaweeds, particularly for the biofertilizers. So this is also comes under kingdom Protista, and which has 3 phylums: Chlorophyta, Rhodophyta, and Phaeophyta. According to the color of the pigment, so this has been classified into Chlorophyta, which is green, Rhodophyta red, and Phaeophyta is a brown algae. So these are the few examples: Gracilaria species, Cordium, Roselle, Red Razor, and Britannica species. So let us have a brief introduction about seaweeds. What are these seaweeds are? So these seaweeds are ecologically important because they assist us in supplying oxygen to the sea and acts as one of the primary producer in the marine food chain. So just like plants, algae also use sunlight, as I told before, for the processes of photosynthesis, and they convert biochemical energy process in which just like a plant do, and so they convert energy of sunlight into chemical energy. So the interest in the agriculture use of these seaweeds is composed increase in the last decades due to an unusual increase in algal biomass, particularly that the green seaweeds resulting from the progressive eutrophication of some coastal ecosystem. The increase in the occurrence of biotic and abiotic stress is likely due to climate change and will further reduce yields or will have an impact on crops. Nowadays, research into developing sustainable method to elevate these stresses should be priority. So according to the recent studies have shown that seaweed extracts protects plants against a number of abiotic and biotic stresses and offer potential for the field of application. So let us have a look on some history behind when it has started using the seaweeds, or do we started recently? How the history is to talk about this seaweeds. For centuries, agriculture areas close to these coastal zones have utilized seaweeds as a valuable source of organic matter for various soil types and for many different fruit and vegetable crops. So according to Delehe et al. 2008, they have recently reported that seaweeds formed an important resource for humans in prehistoric times. Moreover, there is a long history of coastal people using these seaweeds, especially the large brown seaweeds, to fertilize nearby land. The ancient Greeks used these plants as a fertilizer, whereas the use of seaweeds as a manure was a common practice for ancient Romans. According to the later researcher, the earliest reference to seaweed manure is in the second half of the 1st century, when Roman writer Columban recommended that cabbage roots be mulched and manured with seaweed. So what are the benefits of algae in agriculture? Why we have to go behind this algae? Why we have another alternative biofertilizers? Why algae? Algae is a promising new source for sustainable agriculture and improves plant growth in several ways. It helps break up clay and compacted soils, assists in transferring micronutrients from soil to the plants. It enhances water retention, increases seed germination rates, penetration, and stimulates development of microflora population in soils. Algae essentially helps to move micronutrients from soil to plants. Its benefits have been proven both experimentally and in the field. How seaweed manure and extracts affects on agriculture plants. When we apply seaweed manure or extracts to fruit, vegetable, and flower crops, some improvements have included, which gives higher yields, which improves seed vigor, which improves uptake of soil nutrients. It increases resistance to some pests and diseases, and it increases the longer shelf life of fruits, improves seed germination, and enhances defense against the abiotic stresses. That is why we have to use these manure or extracts in agricultural plants. So it has been shown that most of the extracts contain several types of plant growth regulators such as cytokinins, auxins, and betaines. I'll come across later in later slides what these cytokinins, auxins, and betaines in details. But even here, there is no clear evidence that they alone are responsible for the improvements. Nevertheless, their mode of action may be related to the fact that they contain active organic substances such as cytokinins, auxins, gibberellins, betaines, major and minor nutrients like polysaccharides, alginates, vitamins, and amino acids. These seaweed extracts have 1316-D-glucan, oligosaccharides known as laminarian, which perform as an elicitor for polyamine synthesis, a group of growth regulators that stimulate cell division and defense mechanisms. We have early assumption that plant hormones and related low molecular weight organic compounds native to the seaweeds are mainly responsible for the bioactive observed in extracted plants. Now, it's required more and more revision because so nowadays by using the techniques, for example, molecular biology techniques, metabolics, and genomics techniques, so all the research is happening on completely sequencing of the plant. Why we need this genome sequencing of plant? Because we should know what plants are going under abiotic and biotic stresses, how we can come across with these problems by using the effect of seaweed extracts. So the genome number of plant are now completely sequenced or nearing completion. It is possible to look at the effects of seaweed extract and components of the seaweeds in the whole genome, because we should understand the plant for the better mechanism of action of seaweed induced growth response and stress elevation. So come to the algae fertilizers and biostimulants for plants. So 15 million metric tons of seaweed products are produced annually, a considerable portion of which is used for nutrient supplements and as a biostimulant or biofertilizers to increase plant growth and yield. Apart from seaweed extracts or the application of seaweed directly to the, we can use directly to the soil. Either fresh or dried or chopped seaweeds have been used for the preparation of composts. The seaweed products can be placed in three groups. One is meals for supplementing soil. We can use as a meal for the supplementing in the soil in the large volumes, or you can blending into different rooting media for glasshouse crops, or powdered or liquid extract. You can extract in a liquid form, you can use it, or you can just chopped and mixed with the soil. You can use it as a rooting media in the greenhouse crops, and also you can use it as a concentrate for the root dips, and you can use in the form of sprays as well. Okay, the farmers in developed countries, it's already began to shift from chemical-based conventional farming methods towards organic alternative and low inputs and sustainable agriculture. Here, I would like to point out one point here. So since 5 years I'm staying in Germany, when I have been arrived here, I have not been noticed so many bio products, or you can call it as organic products. But nowadays it's been a huge market demand because here in the farmers are already started and switched to the chemical based to the conventional farming method, and because people are aware of these chemical fertilizers, chemical biostimulants, and what does affect on the human health. So in developed countries, like one of the developed countries like Germany, UK, US, they have already shifted this chemical based conventional farming method towards an organic alternative method just to input sustainable agriculture products. So with increasing demand, available of these organic fertilizers from one or two sources was not adequate. To meet this increasing demand, many viable options have to be explored, and one such option is this use of the seaweed extract as a fertilizers. Unlike chemical fertilizers, fertilizers derived from seaweeds. So what are the main species? Common species, I would say, rather than main species. Common species are Fucus, Laminaria, Ascophyllum, Sargassum, etc. Why? Why only these seaweeds? What are the benefits? These are all biodegradable, non-toxic, non-polluting, and non-hazardous to human, animals, and birds. The beneficial uses of these seaweeds and their products used in agriculture include enhanced seaweed germination, plant yield, root growth, tolerance to different plant stresses, and increase in the plant resistance to infections or insect attack. In addition to these all properties, the ability of certain form of blue-green algae to carry out both photosynthesis and nitrogen fixation confirms on them an ecological and agricultural advantage as a renewable natural resources of biological nitrogen fixation. So researchers have clearly shown that in this nitrogen fixation, it's clearly showed that the most effective nitrogen fixing biological systems in the rice fields are certain blue-green algae, for example, nostoc and anabina. They are from ancients, it's proved that the blue-green algae, for nitrogen fixation, blue-green algae means nostoc and anabina. So brown seaweeds are the type of most common used biofertilization in agriculture field. Among them, Ascophyllum nodosum is the main species which is most researched. Besides this Ascophyllum nodosum, other brown algae such as Fucus, Laminaria, Sargassum, and Turbinaria species are used for this sites regarding the species, and I'll come across in the next. Okay. So growth promoting substances. Definitely biostimulants are environmental friendly, natural substance that can be promote vegetative growth, mineral nutrients, and tolerance to biotic and abiotic stresses. Seaweeds are known source for plant growth regulators, organic osmolytes, amino acids, mineral nutrients, and vitamins. Main phytohormones identified in seaweeds extracts are auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, abscisic acid, and ethylene. So definitely we all know that what is responsible for auxins, what gibberellins does, what abscisic acid do. So, but still, I would like to give a small note on this. Auxins are responsible for elongation of growth of plant tissues and apical dominance, cell division, and plant movements. These marine algae are reported rich in auxins and auxins-like compounds. For example, this Ascophyllum nodosum extract has a high 50 mg indole 3 acetic acid per gram of dry extract. The auxin content of Kappa ficus alivaria, Gracilaria asiatica, Turbinaria species, and Sargassum macularia cultivated in south of Veneti was 5,500, 5,900, 4,567, and 5,780 microgram per gram respectively. And while the quantity of this indole acetic acid in harvested seaweed of Undaria pinnallaria was very small compared to the rest of the species which I've already mentioned, Capophycus, Gracilaria, Turbinaria, and Sargassum. So cytokinin. Cytokinin involved in cell division regulation, affecting the plant growth and rest period. Moreover, they inhibit aging of plant tissue and play a crucial role in transport of nutrients. Cytokinins like bioactive was reported early in the 1970s in commercial seaweed extract. Cytokinins have been implemented in nutrient metabolization in vegetative plant organs as well as productive organs. Such response indicates that seaweed extracts are involved either in enhancing the metabolization of cytokinin from root to the developing fruit, or more likely by improving the amount of synthesis of endangered fruit cytokinin. Gibberellins. One of the basic function of gibberellins is initiation of seed germination, growth regulation, and breaking bud dormancy, flowering, and fruit development. So there is a chemical evidence of these gibberellins does not appear to exist for brown algae, although as trace elements like this G4 were identified by mass spectrometry in the soluble extract produced by Acacia sea plants. So this is the Acanthophora. We can have from this species we can have gibberellin content was 157 microgram per gram and 279 microgram per gram in Capophycus and 259.1 microgram in Gracilaria and 99.5 microgram in Turbinaria species. We can have this content of gibberellins, which is help for the initiation of seed germination, growth regulation, and breaking of bud dormancy, flowering, and fruit development. Abscisic acid and ethylene. So these abscisic acid and ethylene are responsible for a stress factor, inhibiting the cell growth and acceleration of plant aging. The presence of this abscisic acid in seaweeds has been reported in Tenz et al. In 1989 green algae and Kingdom Murray, Asconodium nodosum. However, the function of this abscisic acid in the algae remains to be discovered, although it induces gene for protein synthesis required for drought tolerance and seeds in terrestrial plants. So on the other hand, this evidence of ethylene production in brown seeds of tetanus, although 1-amino cyclopropane 1-carboxyl acid, a potential ethylene precursor, was reported in Kelpak 6060, a commercial extract of ethylene maxima. Betaines. So betaines, while not traditionally included among the classical plant hormones, they have cytokinins-like activities, but they are widely distributed in a plant, including seaweeds, and are found in seaweed extracts. So interestingly, the betaine yields from the various samples are Laminaria digitata and Laminaria hyperborean and Fucus serratus showed little variation regardless of either place or date of collection. An effective suggested depends on this betaine's presence of how these enhances the chlorophyll content in the leaf of tomato, beet, barley, beans, barley, and maize plants after application of this extract of Hascophyllum nodosum. So the polymers. Seaweed synthesis polymers such as agars, alginates, carrageenans, fucans, fluorotannins, and other not found in terrestrial plants. The principal polymers of brown seaweeds are mainly polysaccharides, fluorotannins, proteins, nucleic acids. The richest source of found in Fucaceae, especially Ascophyllum nodosum and Fucus vesiculanus, where fluorotannins can account up to 15% of algal dry mass. That shows means so if you using this algal mass, 15% of these seaweed has a richest source of these polymers. And these polymers definitely shows variety of biological activities in both plants and animal system and are involved in the host defense mechanism. So plant nutrition. So plant nutrition is a study of the chemical compounds and compounds necessary for plant growth and plant metabolism and their external supply. In its absence, the plant is unable to complete the normal life cycle. So we need this plant nutrition for its complete life cycle, and it is essential for plant constituent or metabolite. So how these plant nutrients helps? It helps in the yields and fruit quality. So more reports suggested that the seaweed's products on productivity and fruit quality of crops. This probably encourages the flowering by initiating robust plant growth and also by triggering fruit set in the number of croplands. So by using the seaweed treatment to the plants, we can expect high yield by associated with the hormonal substances present in the extract, especially cytokinins. So cytokinins, as I told, it is involved in the vegetative plant organs, are associated with nutrient. So whereas in reproductive organs, high levels of cytokines may be linked with nutrient metabolization. So it also, this seaweed also improve the seedling vigor and seed germination. So earlier, emergence that plant is better established in the field through swift transformation from the heterotroph, where relies upon stored food reserves, to an autotroph with functional photosynthetic machinery. So according to that, earlier research studies or research suggested that seaweed extract application enhances the seed germination and also seedling vigor. So that effect was attributed to a combination of auxins and polyamines, which might stimulate rooting and nutrient uptake and plant establishment. So these Ascomycin nodulum extract definitely induces the activities, analyze and activity, the independence of GA3 and might act as a GA-dependent amylase production, leading to enhance the germination and seed wiggling. So totally, the seaweed extract application, when you apply this, croplands definitely help the seed germination and seedling wiggling. So germination. So these seaweed extracts also play an important role in tolerance to abiotic stress and global warming. These abiotic stress or biotic stress is happening in the plant agricultural crops. So for this, the seaweed might be an upcoming, I would say, upcoming solution for this tolerance to abiotic stresses. So we all know that reactive oxygen species are common factor in many abiotic stresses such as salinity, temperature extremes, and drought. So after experimental and application of these various seaweed crops showed that such stresses must be elevated essentially. So in detail, with the help of this nodosum extract, increases the activity of antioxidant enzyme superoxide dismutase SOD, which scavenges superoxides. Similarly, it reported in an increased SOD and glutathione reductase and ascorbate peroxidase activities is responsible for 3.5 kgs per hectare. So the primary effect of these seaweed applications to solve rescue of these experiments seems to be through an increase in antioxidant capacity. So totally, the report said that beneficial anti-stress effects of seaweed extracts may be related to cytokinin activities. So these cytokinins mitigation strategy induce free radicals by direct scavenging and by preventing reactive oxygen species information by inhibiting xanthine oxidation. Hence, the beneficial effects of seaweed extract against abiotic stress could also be partially elicited by bioactive chemicals other than cytokinin. So these are the genera which is having plant growth hormones: Ascophyllum, Laminaria, which has abscisic acid, Ascophyllum, Fucus laminaria, Macrocystis, Oderia, which is having auxins. Here I would like to point out one thing, except this Undaria. Undaria is having small quantity of auxins comparative to Ascophyllum, Fucus and Laminaria and Macrocystis. So Ascophyllum has more content of auxins and comparative to Undaria. Ascophyllum, Chrysoceria, Euclonia, Fucus, Macrocystis, Sargassum. So these having cytokinins. Chrysoceria, Eclonia, Fucus, Petalonia, Sargassum have these plant growth hormones called gibberellins. This is just a small, I thought of to give an overview of how does it looks. I've taken only 4 important species since I don't have much time to concentrate on all the species. So first picture you can see Ascophyllum nodasum. It's a large common cold water seaweed or brown alga in the family Fucaceae, being the only species in the genus Ascophyllum. Second picture is Laminaria digitata. It's a large brown algae in the family Laminariaceae, also known by the common name oar weed. It is a tough, leathery, dark brown seaweed that grows 2 to 3 meters. Fucus species, the third picture, it's a brown algae in the family Fucaceae found on the coast of North Sea. And the last is Sargassum species. It is a brown algae in the order Fucales, distributed throughout the temperate and tropical oceans. So I would like to conclude and remarks and future prospect of these algae in agriculture. In modern day agriculture practices, biofertilizers form an important component of sustainable organic farming in terms of a viable alternative of chemical fertilizers that are associated with various environmental hazards. So fertilizers can fix and make available atmospheric nitrogen in soil and root nodules, solubilize phosphate into available form, sift phosphates from soil layers, produce hormones and antibiotics to uphold root growth and decompose organic matter for soil mineralization. This causes increased harvest yields, enhanced soil structure, untightened water sources, and induced drought tolerance in plants, enhancing leaf water and target potential, maintaining stomatal functioning, and increasing root development. However, an increased demand and awareness among farmers and planters about the use of biofertilizers can pave the way for new entrepreneurs to get into biofertilizer manufacturing, which also requires encouragement as well as support from the governments. Biofertilizer technology, which is an inalterable part of sustainable agriculture, has to be appropriate for the social and infrastructural situations of the users. Economically feasible and viable, renewable, applicable by all the farmers equally, stable in long-term prospect, acceptable by different societal segments, adaptable to the existing local conditions and various cultural patterns of society, but practically implementable and productive. Thus, it is an apparent that awareness of significance and economic feasibility of application of biofertilization technology has to be increased by proper practical training of dealers and farmers. These are the references, and thank you so much for your patience to listen to me. And before I wrap up, I would like to thank Dhanlakshmi and Praveena for this opportunity and for the lovely support. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Ambika, for an excellent presentation and talk. I now request the participants to ask their questions if there are any. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window. Now over to the participants for any questions. Any questions, participants?
Yes, sir.
Please. Yes,
Sir.
Yes. Please ask.
Shall I ask? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please.
Thank you, doctor.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Doctor, I mean, in the market, so many seaweed extracts are available with so many brands. How a farmer can identify which is the good seaweed extract? Because usually they will not mention any species name and all those things.
So you mean to say which brand would be the better?
I mean, exactly not like that, but I mean, so many seaweed extracts companies are available. So, as a farmer, how we can identify which seaweed is good? Because usually they will not mention any species as such.
Okay, so definitely it's a great question, I would say, because so many products are available in the market already. But one thing is we should consult the consultant before buy any farmer. We should the farmer should consult the consultant. You can call it as a middleman or something, because even I'm a consultant. Being a consultant, I would say. So if you come to me, I know which product, because I'll be the connecting with the so many companies. So I would know, for example, the Colapec would be the best I would prefer, because I know what they're doing, which species are doing, what method they are following. So consultant, by contacting the consulting people, then definitely farmer can easily identify which one would be the better.
Okay. One more question, doctor. I mean, one company is manufacturing seaweed and then they are adding 0.001% of GA. So whether it is advisable to add GA with the seaweed extract, because I mean, as such already IAA and GA is available.
Yes. So as I told, here I would like to go to that table. That would be better for better understanding. But yeah. Okay, in this, okay, I have told, for example, if you want both cytokinins and auxins to be performed as a you're expecting plant growth hormone, both auxins and cytokinins, then you have to go for ascophyllum. If you are not taking ascophyllum and using some other species, then definitely you need to add up some cytokinins and auxins which is not present in the particular species. Suppose if you are choosing the product which is already used ascophyllum genera, then there is no need to add extra auxins because which is already present in the seaweed, and that would be more than enough for the plant, I would say. It's completely depend on the which species they are using it, whether that species is already having this plant growth hormones, then definitely no need to add extra cytokinins or auxins into it. You got my point?
I mean, yeah. Thank you, doctor. I got my point. One more thing. I mean, indole acetic acid. Whether I mean, one of the seaweed companies say that are manufacturing seaweed extract with indole acetic acid. So if I mean one company is manufacturing seaweed extract with the GA. So what GA is advisable? Because what percentage of GA is advisable along with the seaweed extract, especially for sargassum as such?
Percentage I cannot say. Even I have, frankly, I tell you, even I have no idea about that the concentration, because even I'm also connecting with the companies and I'm getting through that, and it is still going on. And the particular percentage, if you would like to know, you drop a message to my email ID, definitely I'll get back to you, like what concentration would be, because I need to contact to the company and what concentration they would prefer, they would suggest for, because they says, as I spoke with the professors or experts in this, they says it's completely depend on the which crop you are using it. The concentration varies. Okay.
Okay,
So
that I got it. Yeah, well, I mean, if anybody wants to stay in the, stay some growth regulator, especially sargassum in the to avoid the abiotic stress means, I mean, whether it avoids the transpiration loss through controlling stomata operations.
Yes, it do. It controls the amount of water evaporation through stomatal operation, and it increases the soil water holding capacity, for example. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. It's an excellent presentation. Thank you.
Drop your queries to my email, and I'd love to get back to you.
Next question from Mr. Mohan.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mohan.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Lashmipati, and thank you very much. And excellent presentation and too technical, Dr. Ambika. It was a fantastic knowledge regarding
Thank you so
seed,
much.
which is the best from the waste, which is very much useful nowadays. I have couple of questions regarding
Mm-hmm.
agriculture sector wise and the farmer side. I have a small question, and my second question will be on the entrepreneurial way to utilize in the
Mm-hmm.
seaweed. Regarding to
Mm-hmm.
the agriculture purpose, can we mix the seaweed fertilizers into regular fertilizers like urea, nitrogen, ammonia, all those things farmers are using? We can combine these two, or when it's called to be the organic, it exclusively should use the seaweed fertilizers.
No, I never come across using this organic seaweed fertilizers with a chemical.
Yeah. So
And I
once
don't think it would be a good idea too, because definitely chemical, we are looking for the biofertilizers, not a chemical fertilization. Definitely the individual seaweed extract or seaweeds, if you are using in the soil or liquid form, in the spray form, that would be a better option than mixing with a chemical for biofertilization.
Okay, and you mean to say that either of the seaweed, just in a paste form or maybe dry form, or even just like that, we can use it
Yes,
for our plantation?
just like that.
Yeah,
Like you have come across with the traditional method, our traditional method of biofertilization, like using this ragi, we have by mixing up the grasses with earthworms, how we compost the compost we use in organically. Likewise, you can chop these seaweeds and mix with the soil and do your own biofertilizer, or just use the extract in the liquid form. You just spray them, you just mix with the soil and use it as such. You can use it in different forms.
and my second question, Dr. Mr. Ambika, regarding, because where I stay, we have plenty of red algae. I don't know what is exactly technical name. So that is red algae, or maybe sargassum, is plenty available. Is that so? And I'm basically exporter to US and Caribbean islands. So is there any way I can get guidance, support from you, that those particular wastage can be utilized into different form, not only in agriculture? And is there any other form where this particular algae can be utilized in an entrepreneurial way?
You mean to say only red algae, right?
Yeah, red algae. I think sometimes some people, they used to call me sargassum, I think.
Sargassum.
So
I
this particular
think
is the abundant quantity, and whole the seashore belt, we are getting this particular one. So if we,
your
because
voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
I think you should stop this presentation if I'm not wrong, because
Okay, wait.
it will be clear for both of us. But yeah,
Okay.
fine. Thank you. I think now, are you free to hear my voice?
Yeah,
Still,
now better a little bit. Please come again with the question.
because now this particular algae, red algae, is abundant as a waste product. It is readily available in our area, all the coast area. So, is there anything we can utilize into entrepreneurial way? We can utilize into product or byproducts with that raw algae? Can you please give some assistance to me?
Okay, for the red algae, especially if only few species have come across with this agriculture field. So, for example, as you mentioned, the sargassum, so you can go for the compost, biocomposts. You can go for biocompost, or you can simply but we have to we have to refer a few articles regarding this red algae in agriculture field, how they have been utilized, how research is going on. In ancients, only a brown algae has been a very important role in the agriculture field. But you are talking about red. I think if these red algae has got the which species is present in your area and whether that species has these plant growth hormones, so then definitely we can use it as agriculture field for a compost purpose, or just you can go and mix with the soil but the study material is much needed, and what research is on this particular red algae we should go through once, then we can come to the conclusion, I think, Mohan.
Got it, doctor. And actually, apart from the agriculture sector, is I think what I heard and I read in the web, this particular algae can be used in the food products.
In food field also, see, yeah.
Yeah, in food process industry also, the Japanese people and American people now they are
food field also definitely. So since I'm talking in agriculture, I'm mentioning that, but so industry also. Yeah, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Your point is valid. So it is also taking place. Red algae is also taking place in food industry.
I'm because I'm basically a food man. Last 25 years, my company, I'm exporting to USA and other parts.
Okay. Then definitely you got an idea about the seaweed.
Yeah.
Yes, even yes, exactly. I have come across with this few red algae species have been used, and this is also one of the future food, I would say.
Yeah, that's the reason,
Seaweeds.
because and that too, all these days it was lying as a waste material, and that too, so much of this. So once if you utilize it the proper way, and that too for health conscious way, so I think it is a win-win situation for health and as well as the wealth. And my last question, Ambika, the number you have mentioned, does have the WhatsApp?
I do have that WhatsApp. You can contact me through WhatsApp, no problem.
Definitely, I will be in contact with you. Thanks a lot. Nice to talk to you.
Okay,
Mr.
thanks.
Brito, that's the next question. Mr. Brito, then we'll move on to Mr. Mati. Yes, Mr. Brito.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. Thank you,
Welcome.
Dr. Ambika, for a very professional and thorough presentation.
Thank you so much. Glad to hear
I
that.
see that you have a lot of experience, and actually a product like yours can actually close all the fertilizers and pesticide companies. You see, there used to be products. I'm sure in Germany they must be having very good liquid products which are available in the market, and probably we could import it from Germany. And if the know-how is known, it could be manufactured in India. Do you have any such product available? I know of one such product in Japan. I will tell you about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first question I would take from you is, can we completely stop this chemical fertilizer? Definitely not.
Not okay.
It is really it's quite impossible, especially in India, I would say. Why? Because people are still following the ancient whole traditional agriculture. One thing, and another thing is everyone needs money, and definitely our agriculture in India is definitely farmer need money immediately, but the government should be do hand in hand, then only we can solve this problem. By saying this, definitely seaweed is one of the this would be a solution to come over of this for chemical fertilizer over chemical fertilizers. Second question. So definitely, yes, in Germany, there is some conditions. Suppose, I have one example. Here, I have used cauliflower vegetable. And compared to the India, here, the pesticide they use is very, 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 very less. Because here, each and vegetable will be tested before going to the consumer, and it has to reach some conditions. If it is not reached, definitely that won't reach the customer. Okay, so that farmers will definitely follow these conditions. These all the tests will be done, and modern technology have been used. Why have been used? Because government is supporting the agriculture of agriculture field and the farmers as well. So only all the developed countries are moving from the traditional to this alternative bio type of an organic farming. So the which company in Germany, it's I have to get back to you because the particular so many companies are already providing these liquid seaweed fertilizers, and fertilizer sprays are available already on in the market, in commercial market. But which particular brand I should also, because I cannot say immediately, okay, this is good. I should do some studies on that, and then definitely I can say which one would be better. And definitely after getting know this, which brand would be the better option for the export from Germany to India, that would be a great idea, and definitely it will help for the agriculture field in India as well.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Mr. Pamati, next question,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So, okay. Thank you, Dr. Ambika. It's a very actually interesting on the scientific presentation.
Thank you,
I
sir.
want to know, so you are being German and I am from Indian farm. I used this gel for banana. There's a very good result.
Mhm.
It's available here
What
in
kind
a
of
gel
gel?
form. Gel form, yes.
The
Seaweed
seaweed?
gel. Yeah, yeah.
Seaweed
It's
gel.
like a
Haha.
tar. Tar. We dilute it in the water. We put in the root zones.
Mm-hmm.
It has very good result for the banana. People
Okay.
are, but it's not used very exhaustively. Usually, it's very common to use it in like compost and all these things. So here we use organic farming. We use it like a panchakavya, Jivamrit, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that seaweed can be grown, cultured artificially for our purpose in the field or something like that. In a
You
commercial
mean
say application, say I ask you for application for the farmer, they will straight away take to the field. It's not going for companies.
so you're asking me, can we cultivate by our own farm? You
Yeah,
mean to
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We are from coastal area.
Definitely we can cultivate in the coastal because it required high salinity condition for the cultivation,
Yeah.
and the coastal region would be the better for the cultivation, but but it is available in India very very low cost. So why you
Mm.
want to cultivate? You can
No,
buy
no,
from
I.
them.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay.
You can
Say
buy
that.
from them, and you can try with by direct using.
So what is the process of making the raw seaweed to be applicable one? Usually absorbed by the plant, like gel or liquid. What is the extraction, simple process of extraction? Or
The seaweed extracts would be the better option.
uh,
And I've come across with a new research also. They have doing this genomics. They're
uh,
studying on plant genomes.
uh,
Why they are studying for plant genomes? Because they want to know how these plants are exposing to abiotic and biotic stresses, and how we have to come over of it by using the seaweeds. So when they come to know the plant genomics exactly, then definitely they'll sequence the seaweed, and they'll combine they can come up with a new species, or which species has this property. Then definitely the particular plant will have this particular species of seaweed for the plant growth hormones, for the rooting, for the flower budding, etc.
Hmm. Say here we use the vermicompost. We do it the Indian farms. Using the mulch is available in the field. So can it be done that way? The seaweed can be done in
Yes.
compost,
Even
vermicompost
recently,
like.
yeah, recently even I have come across with that one article that states that they're just so mixing this seaweeds. They're chopped
Ah,
finely, and they
hmm.
mix with the seaweed, and they're doing just like vermicompost.
Oh yeah, that's.
And in Portugal, one of the research institute called Algae for Future. So they are also coming up with the biostimulants by using the seaweeds. So they are coming next. Their research is going on this biocompost, just like vermicompost, how we traditionally will do. by using this seaweed. They chop the seaweeds and they mixed with the soil and they'll keep it for the ferment. That is happening. So
yeah, that will be easier for the low cost for the Indian farmers.
Yes, low cost, definitely.
Because,
So instead, in spite of going for your cultivation, why we have to scratch our egg for the cultivation? So many people are cultivating. Take it
instead
from
you're
them.
available, readily available, so I can buy the in bulk raw and make it, chop
Exactly.
it and put it in a compost. I can apply in my field like a farmer compost,
Exactly.
something like that. So
It's
not to go
perfect.
spraying and all these things, labor consume.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, then definitely it would work for you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, for asking so many questions. Any more questions? Okay, looks like we have come to the end of the question round. Yes, Mr. Brito? Mr. Brito?
Yes. Yeah. So, Dr. Ambika, I
Yeah.
was telling you that there is a Japanese firm,
Yeah.
Fumin Company Limited.
Which
You
one?
might have
Come
heard
again?
of it. Fumin, Fumin Company
FUM.
Limited. Yeah. They are having a product which is called Mr. X.
Mr.
MR
X.
dash X. So that product contains seaweed, amino acids, and, or 16 minor nutrients, and small percentage of NP and K. That has been used with great success, I heard. And by using that, it increases the umami of the final crop. And
Okay.
specifically be used on the crops, on
Okay.
any crop,
For which
at
crops?
the critical stages. Every crop has got a critical phase.
Yeah.
So this should be used. It is a liquid. It should be sprayed on the crop at the critical phase. For example, initially in the root as a root trench, then
Okay.
at flowering, then at maturity, just before maturity. It depends on the crop. Each crop has got its own specific uh,
Exactly.
stage. So that sort of product, is it available and is it possible for your firm to find out and let us know?
Yeah, definitely. Joseph, you got my number. No, why don't you drop me a message? Then I'll get back to you with your
Yes, thank you. Because
thing.
I can tell you that this product, if it is used, the farmers need not use fertilizers and pesticides.
Okay.
It will,
So you
it
mean
will
to say
build up
this one would be the solution for everything?
everything.
Yeah,
Everything it will resolve.
panacea for the farmer.
Yes, yes. Uh, it's almost like which they are using similarly as a magic grow, no? You
Yeah,
might have heard of that product. It
yeah,
is in
I have heard.
USA. Yeah.
Gentlemen,
It's
your
one.
voice is.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I think Mr. Brito, you can communicate with the speaker using his
Yes, yes,
email because your voice is also.
yes. Okay,
And,
okay, okay.
thank you so much.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Anything else? I think anything else, Mr. Brito? Voice. Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank the speaker, Dr. Ambika, on behalf of Agriculture Information, for taking her time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I'd like to thank the speaker, Dr. Ambika, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.